Yeah. I'm gonna just pray real quick, just because I need that to be able to try to make it through this. Um, Lord, I just thank you for today. Um, I just pray that you help me to get through this sermon and pray that it's received by some people and you work through it, Lord. Just thank you. All right. So it was like a month ago when Pastor Matt asked me if I'd be willing to preach, and I said, okay. um, he asked me to pray about it, but I didn't really feel like I needed to because I've always kind of known it's like, I don't know, like God's asking you to do something, it's probably what you're supposed to be doing. So I didn't really pray long, but I you know, prayed about it. More so after I did accepted that I had to do it, and then I started praying. Um, and I was just thinking of different topics to go on, and I kind of just kept coming back to just like our self-worth and how God sees us. Like personally, I struggle really bad with just never feeling good enough. Like I'm always just really hard on myself, um, so I know that's not true. I know that God sees us else otherwise, and I just wanted to kind of take some time to work through that, really for myself. And if you all get a benefit from it, well, then great. Um, oh yeah, awesome. It was pretty cool. Wednesday, I was over for Bible study and going over the sermon with Pastor Matt, just kind of getting some help. And then Rick came in, like who was preaching on Friday, and he kind of like had started off with the same verse that I'm going to start off with. So Matthew 22, verse 35. One of them, a lawyer, asked him a question, testing him, "Teacher, which is the great, which is the great commandment in the law?" And he said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the great and foremost commandment. The second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On on these two commandments depend the whole law and the prophets." So again, like sometimes, like for me, it's kind of like just hard because I don't feel that I love myself all that much. I yeah, so like just having that, love your neighbor as yourself. It's like, okay, well, I don't think I can think that lowly of my neighbor. Like, um, so it's kind of hard too. Like I feel like nowadays, like personally at least, it's like everything you see, everyone shows like their best self. It's like, oh, you look on Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media, TikToks or whatever, and everyone's just kind of showing their best of them. And we focus so much on that. We like see like their curated look of what they want you to see. And for me, like it's like I think I know I let it affect me negatively. Like I look in and just like, oh, why am I not succeeding more at work? Why am I not doing this? Whatever it is, I'm not doing better at everything. So I was looking for verses, um, and there's probably a million verses that you could find, and I just kept trying to just kind of having a blank on a lot of, like, I would look and look and felt like I couldn't dig up as much as I wanted. Like I felt like I needed 1,000 verses that talk to this, and I couldn't find that. But I have Psalm 139:13. For you formed me in, in ah, sorry, start over. For you formed my inner parts. You wove me in my mother's womb. I gave, I will give thanks to you, for I am fearful and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, and my soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret and skillfully woven in the depths of the earth. Um, I feel like, for me at least, it like speaks like I know, my soul knows like that my worth is in Christ, but like my flesh like just pulls me down so much. Like, um, yeah, like as soon as I start to kind of feel like I have any self-worth, like the world and just my inner thoughts just pull me down. Um, but I need to come back to this. My soul knows very well. Um, I'm gonna go to another verse, 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. You are you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people of people for God's own possession, so that you may proclaim the excellence of Him who has called you out of darkness into His marvelous light. For you once were not a people, but now you are the people of God. You had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. Um, so this is kind of a verse that I just kind of kept popping in my head with. What's the my brain's not working right now. Who's John? Well, one of the other deacons. um, Roki. Yes, thank you. Roki always kind of harps on that we're like a royal priesthood of Christ. And honestly, like I don't have much to really say on that. It just kind of kept kind of popping up, and I felt like I had to include it. I just actually even had it like on the back as like a note, not even like part of my main notes. um, um, so like yeah, like yeah, let's keep going. Another verse. Let's keep it there. Matthew 5:14. You are the light of the world, a city set on a hill. Or sorry, a city or set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor does anyone light a lamp or put it under a basket, but on the lampstand, and it gives light to the whole, to who in the house, to all who are in the house. Let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see God or see good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. Um, Again, like I'm struggling with the words to really like. I, like I said, tying all this together, like I've just struggled with it. Every time I would sit down to try to work on this, I'd just get frustrated, and I felt like I had to just have this perfectly everything pulled together. Like I wanted, but I don't. I just have a couple verses, and just like the fact that like we all struggle with this. I feel like not all, but a lot of us struggle with this. I feel like every time I told somebody like I that I was preaching, and they asked me what I was preaching on, I would tell them like just our self-worth in Christ, and like even people that weren't Christians or whatever, that they were like, oh yeah, that's like, felt like it hit a chord. And so then it just felt like I put more pressure on myself. So then like, all right, I really got to nail this home. Let me just spill all down my face. Yeah. I think a lot of times we still kind of go back to like our fleshly self that like isn't in Christ maybe, and kind of have to be reminded that we are created new. So I got another verse for you. Romans 12:1. Therefore, I urge you, brethren, by the miracles of God, to present your bodies a living and holy sacrifice, acceptable to God, which is your spiritual service of worship. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect. Like again, yeah, like we can't be perfect. Like that perfect comes from God, and I feel like that's where our worth needs to come from. Like our worth can't come from our success at work or lack thereof, or success in hobbies or whatever. Like our worth really needs to be based in Christ. And I think that's must be like where I struggle. Not, I focus so much on worldly things that, you see. It's like this is the tangible stuff that, I think, you're not improving at your work, or you're not getting the house that you feel like you need to provide for your family, or, but yeah, like if we can't, those things are like people that are people that are evil succeed in those things. Not that all people that are succeeding are evil, but like yeah, it's not, that's not on. Yeah, so we don't need to hold ourselves to world standards. We need to kind of work to look past that, which is hard. Like I said, I'm the perfect example of that. Nothing I have, I always feel like it's not enough. You know what I mean? And even that, it's like got an amazing house, an amazing wife, and it's like, oh, but I need to get it better. I need to make my wife better. She's good, but yeah. So yeah, I got one last verse for you guys. Yeah, so it's Romans 5:8. But God demonstrates his own love towards us in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Like, it doesn't matter where your success or lack of success, wherever you are, like Christ died for you, died for, I always think of like, especially when I was younger, I always held really, really closely to, like, Christ died for me. Like, yeah, he died for everyone, but he died for me. Um, like for me, I need to be reminded of that. That I was the punk rock little kid with dirty hair sleeping in the back. My parents drugged me to church, and I just didn't feel like fighting. Um, yeah, and now I'm just the dirty guy in the back. Yeah, taking attendance. So yeah, I've sharing all I have. But yeah, just I don't know, just when you start thinking that you're not doing everything you could be doing, or everything you do is not good, or you just feel like everything you're doing is you're a failure. One, know that there's other people that feel that way. I'm one of them. But like it's not true, and it's not where your worth lies. It's not like even if you are failing at everything, you dropped out of college, you barely made it through high school, whatever, it's you dropped out of high school. I don't, it's just it's not that's not where your worth is. Your worth is in Christ.